Hey comic book fans, I'm here to talk to you guys today about Green Lantern Rebirth. So as you know, Lights Out is a new storyline that's coming out next month, and I'm pretty excited for it, but I want to go back all the way when Jeff Johns started Green Lantern in Green Lantern Rebirth. And I'm pretty sure that you guys know the story already, and you guys heard a lot of praises from it, but I just wanted to give some of my input and my opinions and comments to the story. So let us begin, and let's start with the story. So I'm sure you already know the story of it. It's Hal Jordan's return after he died. So in the 90s, Hal Jordan basically turned evil, became Parallax, and then he died, and he stayed dead for about 10 years, but now he's back. So this story is just how he comes back. And in the end, he comes back and fights off what makes him evil, and that's really cool. So, I liked that. I like that Hal Jordan comes back. That's one thing that I like about the story, and I also like how they make it a big deal, a very big deal, which is good, and I like that too because they don't just give him the ring and oh he's back. They actually it's very important. The Justice League gets involved, the Justice Society gets involved, all the Green Lanterns get involved. So it's a very big deal. So. And I like that. It makes it more important. And it's good and appropriate because it's going to set up this really big storyline. So it's really good. And then just for little tidbits, I really liked it when Batman got punched by Hal Jordan. That is just awesome. I'm tired of Batman sometimes, and he deserves that punch sometimes. So that's great. Also like how Alan Scott's in this. Again, just every Green Lantern on Earth is on this, and that's really cool. You know it's a big deal. So I like that. Those are just some really cool elements. Great story. The only thing I didn't like about the story is just the way they explain how Jordan turns evil. It's a little sudden, and if you read it, you know what I'm talking about with Parallax. It's kind of sudden, but it does, as you read more of this Green Lantern by Jeff Johns, it actually will make more sense. So yeah, but at first it's just a little weird, and that's one little problem. So that's the story. I want to talk about the artwork real quick. The art is really good, actually. It's done by Ethan Van Sciver, and that guy draws really well. I like the details, and I like the dynamic poses. Everyone's faces look different, which some artists can't do sometimes. So yeah, the artwork is just fantastic, and I really wish he could do a little more artwork. So yeah, again, just overall great art. Not much comment, but yeah. And now the last thing I want to talk about would be this book as a starting book, because whenever people ask about starting Green Lantern or just starting comics, sometimes they say, hey, oh, read Green Lantern Rebirth. And here's just what I think about that. Green Lantern Rebirth was actually the first DC comic I read, and I think as a beginning book, it's a little overwhelming, especially for newcomers of comics, especially, and maybe even Green Lantern readers. It can be a little overwhelming because a lot happens, and they reference to a lot of things. So if you've never read Green Lantern before, you might want to do some research because you might be confused by a lot of things. And I'm sure a lot of people don't even know who Guy Garner or Kilowog is. It's a shame, but that's just how I'm sure so. So you might want to do some research first on a little bit of how Hal Jordan died to understand a little more of this. Because again, it's kind of a lot, and I like how they bring a lot of characters, but that can be kind of overwhelming for some people because it's just like all these characters. It kind of makes it feel like you're in the middle of a story, and yeah, it can be kind of uncomfortable. So that's something that was a little bit of a problem. But besides that, if you would just read it, it's a fantastic story. But as a beginner book, not the best. So overall, the story is really good, and the artwork is great. And the only little problem would probably be that it's just not the best book for beginners unless you do a little bit of research. But if you're a comic book person that reads comics a lot and you're just reading this is fine. So yeah, if I was to give the score of 1 to 5, I would give the score a 4 out of 5. I would love to give it a 4.5 out of 5, but it's just that it's just a little bit too crazy, especially for beginners. But everything else is just so fantastic, and I can't give it anything lower, and I can't give it anything higher either. It sets up this nice story that Jeff Johns is gonna write for Green Lantern, and that's great. So, yeah, that's all. Tell me what you think about Green Lantern Rebirth. Do you agree with what I said? Do you disagree? I'm sure people are going to disagree with what I said, but yeah, I'd like to know. And next, we're going to talk about Green Lantern No Fear. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.